I wanted to give you the stage to react to your little Black,
Me?
Was it Black Widow?
Yeah.
Oh, Black Widow. Okay.
Only because you were so passionate about it before.
Oh.
All right, let me tell you.
Do we spoiler alert this or you?
It's 100% spoiler alert. The movie's been out for almost a week now.
Okay. So what we'll do is like we'll raise our hands and then he'll like call on us like in class and then we'll ask a question.
All right. So.
Oh.
Not yet. So anyways, let me preference this as well. Whoever's watching this doesn't think that like, oh, I'm just... It's because I'm a guy and it's a movie about a girl. It's not that or anything like that. As you can see, and my previous backgrounds, I am a gigantic Marvel fan. I've seen every single... I own every single movie.
A lot of dudes up there.
Yeah, not a lot of women represented up there.
Wow.
Whew.
I mean,
Wonder Woman's right there.
Yeah, but
one of them is. That's 50% of the ones that are up there. Anyways.
When I talk about these movies, I know what I'm talking about. I was so excited. Black Widow was supposed to come out May 2020, right? But of course, pandemic type shit happened.
The COVID, yeah.
Movie got pushed back to all the way until this last week, right? Mm-hmm. So much anticipation, right?
You were about to burst with anticipation.
I've been looking forward to this movie forever, especially when I first found out that they were going to have Taskmaster in the movie. I was super excited.
Taskmaster?
Robert.
For those who don't know who is Taskmaster, Master.
That program on the computer where you have to kill all the tasks?
That's Minesweeper.
Nailed it.
No, his code name is Taskmaster.
Uh-huh.
He has a photographic memory, so when he watches somebody fight, he can mimic. He can pick it up instantly, like it's his superpower. So he can automatically do the same exact attack without any kind of tech that the person is doing. So he can mimic whoever he's fighting. So he's really hard to fight against.
Question: does he know before they do it? Because then there's not photographic memory. It's like you'd have to get your ass whooped first.
Well, so not only
ESP.
Not only does he have the photographic memory, so he already knows how they fight, but like he can analyze it in real time. Like he's that quick. So like he's not like the Flash quick, but like he can process everything at the same time. So like he knows when to block and stuff like that, right? Anyways, he's a badass character. And I'm not even griping about when it's actually Taskmaster in the movie, because it's just like how it should be in the comics. He's a fucking badass. Here's my problem. I didn't have a problem with the movie. The movie is what it is. It came out about 6 years too fucking late because it's really weird because it happens after Civil War, which is in 2016. In the timeline, we're in 2023. So it's real fucking weird, right?
Yeah.
Plus, she's dead in the real movies. Or after Endgame, right?
She dies?
Have you not seen Avengers Endgame?
I haven't watched any of those movies.
Spoiler alert, she's dead. But she sacrificed herself for the Soul Stone. It's what helped everybody come back to life. So she sacrificed herself to bring everybody back to life. It's, a fun little movie. The Red Guardian, dude from Stranger Things, his character is fucking hilarious.
His name is David Harbour.
Yes, he's fantastic in this movie. Florence Pugh's character is fantastic in this movie, right?
Where's all the anger coming from? All the hostility toward it.
My biggest gripe...
Cut that out.
I am. I'm the editor. I know how to cut this shit out. My biggest gripe is Taskmaster. In fucking 2020, I bought a Taskmaster pop. So excited to add in my collection. You see why it's not here? It's in the closet. I had it out this week, but I put that bitch back in the closet. First half of the movie is a good story. Second half, it goes totally off the fucking rails. Turns out, they go back only on... Do you remember there's a line in Avengers where Loki says to Black Widow when he talks about her ledger being red, and he's like...
Can you wipe out that much red? Dreykov's daughter?
Well, that one line spawned half of this fucking movie because that Dreykov dude was she allegedly killed him back in the day, but also what she did was she blows up Dreykov's daughter. That's the big Budapest thing.
So you're mad because he's...
Oh, I'm getting to it. Hold on.
Okay.
So they based this movie based off on that storyline. This dude Dreykov runs the Red Room. He runs the Black Widow program. He's the one that abducts those little girls and turns them into fucking assassins, right? Mind wipes them and turns them into assassins. This whole time she thought he was dead. Turns out, he wasn't dead. Taskmaster the whole time. By the way, also, I have two gripes. Number one, this dude's hideout, which, by the way, nobody, including the Avengers, can't find. He's just floating in the sky with no stealth tech. Somehow you can't find this giant floating city in the fucking sky. I swear to God, I'm not making this shit up. That's where his evil lair is, in the fucking sky. This giant, it looks like a giant spaceship. Just no cloaking devices or shit like that. That's where he's been hiding out, right? So that was my first gripe. You see it in the trailers where she's skydiving because they blow that thing up or whatever. The big twist in the movie when she goes to the Red Room with that Dreykov dude, right?
How aggravated.
I'm so angry right now. The end of the movie, she goes into the red room with this the Dracoff dude, right? Where he controls everything. Well, he controls all the Black Widows too with this. He controls everything with a ring, by the way. Rubs on the screen and it like mind wipes bitches and makes them kill themselves, right?
I prefer African American widows.
I'll allow that one.
I'd
The big
prefer
twist. I'm getting to the big twist that pissed me off. You seen it in the trailers. Taskmaster is like 6'5". Is a big ass dude, right? The big twist.
Shorter than me.
Taskmaster takes the fucking helmet off, and it's the little girl, Dreykov's daughter, that got blown up, and is like a cyborg with her eyes shooting out this way, and she has a computer chip in the back of her head. And so Taskmaster, instead of having a photographic memory, the lens is like what mimics everything, and it's like just she's a computerized thing. It's the little girl. Instead of this giant dude, it ends up being Olga Kurylenko, whatever the fuck her name is, being in this suit and is actually what's kicking everybody's ass this whole time.
So that's not what the real...
It's a dude. They put some random Russian bitch in as Taskmaster. They totally ruined Taskmaster. She doesn't die at the end, but she gets her memory back, and somehow she goes from a vegetable to a semi-functioning vegetable in the movie.
Can you refer to her as a woman? Because that's what she is.
Yeah.
They're all women in the movie.
The
movie, halfway through, and maybe almost 2/3 of the way in, was good.
Uh-huh.
And then the whole ending totally fucked up everything. And then it ends so abruptly. You know how, like, usually Marvel movies, they, like, go and do, like, the special titles and stuff like that, and then they do the mid-credit scene? It goes from the Avengers thing where she flies off, she has her blonde hair now, because, they show earlier in the movie she bought blonde hair dye, of course. She flies off, and then it abruptly cuts to the credits that just scroll down. Like, a weird, random cut of the movie. I'm like, y'all had 2 years to perfect this, and it's cut so fucked up. And the whole storyline is all fucked up.
Wait, no,
I've never been upset. Look, there's some MCU movies, but this is the absolute worst of them all. 0 out of 10.
My question. Seems to me that you're upset. Taskmaster was supposed to be this big badass dude.
Yeah.
Right? And ended up being this small girl. Or woman.
The only time you see her is a 4-year-old girl getting blown up in a gigantic explosion. And all of a sudden she's this super... Now she's 6'6", and is whooping everybody's ass.
I thought you were a feminist. I didn't think you'd be so angry about a woman villain.
I'm all for
Why
equality.
is it that a woman cannot be a big man?
I'm all for equality, but this is a worse twist than the Mandarin in Iron Man 3. It's worse than that.
Oh, my
it's
God.
worse
So-
than that. My suspension of disbelief only goes so fucking far. It could have been so much better. That's what I'm mainly upset about, is it could have been so much better. And she deserved more. Because they don't even do like a funeral for her either.
All right, do your breathing techniques. What's up?
My Kundalini.
Because you know that she's going to be in the Avengers movies after this, did the movie feel like there were no stakes, like, whatsoever?
That too. Because then, because you kind of end up liking the side characters, but none of them die. Like, there's never any stakes at all. There's literally no stakes at all.
Follow-up question. Doesn't Marvel have a track record of not having good villains, so shouldn't you kind of been aware that Taskmaster would kind of suck?
They used to not have good villains, but they've had good villains for a good while now. Name the last time they had a bad villain.
That's what I was going to ask
Maybe
you.
2016, which this movie's kind of based in.
I'd say the last bad villain would be the Dark Elves in the second Thor movie. That's what I was excited about. I was like, ooh, you're going to introduce Taskmaster. A better way to do the story was, you know, Thaddeus Ross is in the movie, you saw him in the trailer. So the shots you see of him in the trailer is he's in the movie. He's like in like 30 seconds of the movie. What would have been a better story was him hired Taskmaster as an assassin that's looking for Natasha, because it picks up where she's on the run after Civil War, and like he's trying to close in on her and find her like Thaddeus Ross is. Like, why not have Taskmaster be hired by Thaddeus Ross to go try to find Natasha instead of having it being this mindless like android like that's like barely alive? Like, it makes no sense. It's such a badass character that could have continued. I'm sure in 10 years they'll fucking wreck on it, like they're doing with the Mandarin now in Shang-Chi.
You know what, though? I do love and appreciate your passion.
Yeah, dude.
Wendy is a lucky woman.
That's what's up, man.
I made her watch all the fucking movies. It's okay. She made me watch like 700 episodes of Naruto, so I made her watch all like 23 movies.